Good morning, everyone. We are following breaking news right now at Salle High School. Police tell us a student shot himself inside a classroom. We want to take a live look, that is, at the gym. This is where students were sent while the school was on lockdown. That school is not on lockdown anymore. 9 on Your Side reporter Tom McKee is at the scene. He has the latest for us. Tom.
Well, Tanya, the best way I can describe it is you would never think that Salle High School would have police tape around it. You'd never think to see that you'd have police cars around Salle High School. You'd never think to see you'd have a fire engine in front of Salle High School, but that is indeed what we have right now. One student has been shot, a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to Chief Bart West of the Green Township Police Department. That student has been taken to University Hospital. His condition is not known right now. The next biggest thing, as you're seeing right now in our cameras, a couple of locations we have, is that parents who got the word, whether it's social media or parents who got the word, whether it was from a student calling from inside the school, that sort of thing, are rushing here to find out if their students are okay. The word is only that student was wounded. The school is not on lockdown anymore. It was put on lockdown immediately afterward. The student was shot in a classroom. There were other students present, according to Chief West. But that's the situation right now. The parents are coming in. They were taken to the school gym cafeteria. The students all were taken to the gymnasium. They've been reunited. And as you can see behind us here, parents are streaming out little by little to go home and tell their stories of what they experienced. Of course, the ones in that particular classroom certainly have something to say that is unspeakable. It's unthinkable that someone would be in their classroom, would take out a gun and shoot themselves. Of course, Charlie Winburn, Cincinnati City Council member Charlie Winburn, was one of those parents coming here to find out about his son Joseph, who's a 10th grader. Here's what he had to say just moments ago.
So unfortunate for all the kids that are involved. It's just, my heart is touched. I'm just kind of speechless because this is so close to home. And I think this lets us all know that if we help enough other people in life to get what they want, enough other people in life will help us get what we want. And there's a time that we need to help all the families involved and help this wonderful school. This is a wonderful school and wonderful parents and wonderful teachers that are here.
That's Cincinnati City Council member Charlie Winburn coming to the school to find out the status of his son Joseph, a sophomore at LaSalle High School. LaSalle, a school of about 800 students. Parents again flocking here to find out the status of their young men that are in class at this particular point in time. I'm told that Sheriff Jim Neal is going to be holding a news conference in about 5 minutes. I would assume it's where we had the news conference before, right at the driveway entrance on North Bend Road. So we will have that covered for you live in just a few moments. For right now, though, that's the situation at LaSalle High School here in North Bend Road.
Yeah, Tom, and obviously this is such a terrible tragedy. I mean, just a horrible situation for everybody involved. Our thoughts, of course, are with this family and with this young man. And as a parent of a teenager, and you've had teenagers, this is something that really tears at your heart. Let's talk for a quick second, if we can, while we're waiting for that news conference to happen. We're going to go to Kendall at the hospital in a moment for an update, but I understand from the Hamilton County 911, they tweeted just a few moments ago that now they are asked the parents, kids who are being picked up by parents are been all released. Now they're going to start allowing the children or the students who drove there themselves to go ahead and start filing out of that area. I assume that you're witnessing that as well.
Well, we'll probably get that information during the news conference. We're across the street right now, so we're a little bit detached from actual information, so we'll depart here in just a second. Your comment about certainly it's the worst parent's nightmare, but times have changed. When my kids were in school before, perhaps I don't think that people thought that guns would be something would be brought into school. Perhaps a different time now. The question is, how could somebody bring a gun into LaSalle High School? Certainly that's going to be looked at very, very carefully by both the school and the people from the Green Township Police Department and the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, without a doubt. Craig Tankersley, who's with the LaSalle High School, came out and said the school is not going to give any information on the student who was wounded right now. What he did say, though, is he's asking for the community for the prayers for this young man and his family as he struggles in the hospital because of his condition, which we don't know here, but Kendall Harold, as you mentioned, is going to be having that update in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think all of us are sending all of our good wishes. This is our news conference now. Let's listen in.
He's bringing in other guidance counselors, grief counselors, Our priest left to go with the young man to the hospital. We've got other clergy coming in, so they're doing well. You see the parents leaving with their students, their sons. We are going through an organized dismissal. We have contacted via Tom Luby an email directly to the parents explaining the situation, and parents should be coming in today to take their sons home. Again, it's a very tragic situation for a Monday morning. We're doing everything we can. Our number one priority is with that student that was involved and then the students in the building. So we do thank you for getting the correct information out on this so the parents can be relieved and they're taking their sons home. So at this point in time, Dr. Rigg would like to make a brief statement.
In addition to what Greg already mentioned, my only comment is to say that we're working very closely with LaSalle and with law enforcement to make sure that we can dismiss the students here in an orderly fashion. I would ask you as members of the media to please respect the students. They've been through a lot this morning. If I could ask you to not approach them with questions at this time and let us speak on behalf of the student body here. LaSalle is a tremendous school. It's a strong school. It's a school that has unfortunately faced certain tragedies before. It always impresses me with its faith and strength, and I know that the students will rally together with the community and move forward. Again, I'd like to emphasize that this was an isolated incident involving a single student. The students at LaSalle are safe and are being dismissed at this time in an orderly fashion. Please continue to pray for the students and protect the students.
You're watching a news conference live right now, and while we were waiting for this signal to clear up just a little bit, we've been hearing from representatives from the school. They've been saying that email has gone out to all parents and along with the media, getting information out that they have started, as you can see, this is quite a traffic jam along here, getting kids very, very, trying to be very calm about this, releasing them in an orderly fashion. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, but the Hamilton County 911 tweeted out that they have asked first all parents to get their kids first, and then they will start releasing the kids who drove themselves to school. Their number one priority, of course, the child who is in the hospital right now with the self-inflicted wound. The second priority, of course, the kids who are attending LaSalle, that they may all find some healing in this, somehow in all of this. And what they've asked us to do as media is to kind of stay away from those kids for a while. We're going to do our very best. They have also reiterated this is an isolated incident. While we're waiting to get more on that news conference, let me go now to Cincinnati UC Medical Center, where Kendall Harold is standing by live. Kendall, have we heard anything yet on this young man's condition?
No word yet right now, Tanya, on his condition. What I can tell you, we are expecting to speak with hospital representatives at any minute, waiting on them to come out of the ER right now to speak with us. Also, what I can tell you right now is what we witnessed just a few minutes ago. Now, we did see a vehicle pull up and a mother and a teen visibly upset. Right now, we want to get straight to a live press conference, and we'll take you there now.
In addition to all the school counselors on their way.
Were your officers the first ones on the scene in Hamilton County?
I think there were Greene Township and Hamilton County officers that arrived almost exactly the same time.
Did they go in as an active shooter scenario when you guys went into this school?
Right, they were quickly briefed what happened, and it was quickly ascertained what happened, and so...
There was a lockdown then in the school,
there was a lockdown,
and your officers
immediately
worked through the school assuming that this could
They knew right where this
something
happened,
else.
and they went right to the area where it happened.
Is there a resource officer on the ground?
No, there is not. Sheriff Neal, did you have anything you would like to say?
I'd just like to mention that we'll continue to work with Chief West and resolving this and bringing closure to the investigation.
Sir, a lot of parents said they didn't get notified this morning. Is there a system you guys have? How does that work? A lot of parents said they didn't find out from the school that this happened.
Well, we immediately, the students in the building, as the chief said, we want to take care of the situation, make sure they're safe. So about 35 minutes after that, an email went out from Principal Luby to an email to our parents, basically explaining what's happened. So we've been ongoing in that communication as fast as we can. We're doing everything we can.
Chief, are you still thinking it was a single shot? Is there any indication there were any other shots fired?
The information I have at this time is there was a single shot.
Any indication how he was able to get the weapon into the school?
school?
No, we haven't gotten that far in the investigation.
But there are not
We'll have
metal
we'll
detectors and that
release
sort of thing at this school. There would be no trick.
We'll release additional information as soon as we can figure out exactly
I
what
think it's
happened.
important to note that, to our knowledge, no other students within the school were in danger by this incident. It was an isolated incident involving a single student.
It wasn't a classroom with other students, though, right?
I don't think we're at liberty to share that at this time.
I
The
think they already
investigation is
Yeah,
ongoing.
It wasn't
we have,
he
yes.
was in a classroom with other students, so there could have been a threat to others. That's a concern, is it not?
The student made no outward threat, and again, we'll release information about him later today. And I think when you
Certainly other students being in there is a concern.
it's
Certainly.
certainly
Anytime somebody brings a gun to a school is of concern.
So we'll let you know what time we'll get together again for another briefing, but we will do that shortly and update you on more information.
And you expect to have more information on the student later today?
again, we're respecting this young man and his mom and dad as they fight through this terrible tragedy. So we will
How are
relate.
the staff members doing?
Everyone's doing really well. I think, as Dr. Riggs said, our faith at LaSalle High School is very strong, and one thing you'll see our young men and our families do is we pull together in the good times and the bad. There's tears in the building because no one wants to go through this. We'll talk about that later on.
Prepared
Is
to
the
comment
school
on safety
closing? What
procedures
time
later.
is the dismissal you mentioned?
The parents are picking up their children now if they would like to, and the students will be allowed to leave if they would like to.
Right, there is an organized process right now. We are not just going to release students in a normal protocol. They have to have a parent with them. So that's one of the main reasons we came out today, that you can help us get that message out. Some parents are at work, they're traveling, they may be on an air, who knows. But we're in that process of them being released to their guardian or their parents at this time.
What was the status of your day when this happened?
It was a Monday morning, and it was a great day at LaSalle High School.
How long after it started? Your day started?
I'm not even sure I want to comment on that in light of what's just happened. I mean,
was it the first class of the day?
It was the first class of the day, just before it was dismissed. So.
Will there be class tomorrow?
There you have it.
Okay, so you have been watching a live news conference. Representatives from the school, Dr. Rigg was there, and we also had Green Township Police Chief West and the sheriff, Hamilton County Sheriff, all there together. Let me just quickly go through a couple of things that they said. You just heard, and I think this is very important. They said there are tears in the building, but everyone, they were talking about faculty and staff at this point, everyone is pulling together and taking care of each other because LaSalle is a family.